Hello, Augies Worldwide. I'm Dave Kassler, amateur radio call sign KE0OG, and I am here with episode number 328 of Ask Dave. Today we're going to look at an antenna that was damaged during the night by some large animal. I'm not sure if it was a deer, a buck, would have to have been a buck, or a bear, or Bigfoot for that matter. No particular evidence of that. Given the force involved in the destruction, I think we're looking at a bear here. Now, it is November or December. It's December now, and bears in Colorado usually hibernate in November. So it's a little late for a bear. May not have been a bear, but it looks like the kind of attack a bear might do. The antenna involved is an MFJ-1886 Receive-only loop antenna, and it was put up in May of 2017. And the video that does the unboxing is Ask Dave number 67, and the put up and test is Ask Dave number 67A. So they go back quite a ways. So let's look at some slides and get a kind of a glimpse of what happened to the antenna. I think it is salvageable, but it will need a part or two. Here we have a photo from May of 2017 where the antenna is new and shiny that shows the putting up the antenna up and testing it. One thing that I did do was label it because there was no label on it anywhere as to what product it was. It's an MFJ-1886 receive loop antenna. You can even see the shiny new coax connector that I put on that piece of RG8X cable. You can see the antenna mounted over on the right inside the red circle. It's mounted sharing a pole with a bird feeder, which has not been used in several years now. Loretta went to feeding hummingbirds and not feeding other types of birds, so this particular bird feeder was completely devoid of seed and has been for several years. You can see the coax going down and kind of stretching out just a little bit, and then it goes through the grass and enters the house over on the other side. My ham shack is on the left. Those two windows on the left both go into the ham shack. Here you can see another view of the MFJ-1886 antenna and where it shares the pole with the bird feeder. Over on the left, you see the MFJ-1788 mag loop antenna under review. Interestingly, this is one of the very first things I purchased with channel funds, was the MFJ-1788, which I paid in full for. The MFJ-1886 antenna was sent to me by MFJ for review. Here's a picture I sent to MFJ a couple months later showing the problems that the housing had with ultraviolet out there. Up here at 7,000 feet, we get a lot of UV. You can sunburn up here in 15 minutes. So there is a place there where, as it deformed, the gasket separated from the main body of the amplifier, thus removing the waterproofing, although the preamp has continued to work up until yesterday. Okay. Now, some animal, and this picture was taken a couple hours ago, some animal went out there and I think pulled the bird feeder toward him or her up on top of the porch. You'll note that one splinter quite a ways over there, and the way the piece splintered, it looks like it was pulled backwards onto the porch and then it was dragged out onto the ground. It was a piece of redwood, so it still had quite a bit of strength in it. It was put up in 2003, that particular pole. The antenna and the pole and the bird feeder are way out in the backyard. The coax was ripped right out of its sleeve there. That took some force to do that, and ripped apart. That's why I'm thinking more bear than deer, because this looks like the bear was trying to get the antenna out of the way to get to the bird feeder. This is a look at it. The metal loop itself is intact and reusable. The housing, which is an electrical fitting, is not reusable. It's broken. And you can see where the coax got pulled mighty hard there. It looks like the preamp is intact. I'm going to need to do a closer inspection of it, which I will do in the next few days. And if there's something really interesting and I can find a replacement for that housing, I will put the thing back together. I may have to get that housing from MFJ. I'm not sure I can find an equivalent electrical housing to that. I thought it interesting here in this last slide that the label from a brother label maker in 2017 is perfectly legible. After 3.5 years directly in the sunlight, it did not fade at all, and it's still sticking to that plastic, although you can see it's slowly, very slowly working its way apart. Well, and there you have it, the sad end, or maybe the sad middle, of the MFJ-1886 Receive-only loop. I think it was a bear. I don't think it was Bigfoot. I haven't seen any great big prints, but maybe it was. But it looked like it was pulled toward the bear, pulled it down, and then yanked it off and took it out into the backyard to try and take the thing apart. Did rip the coax cable right out of its housing, which would take a lot of force to do that. I don't think that this is an animal on the a deer or something that got on the deck and then bailed out over the thing. I think it would have splintered differently. And so my guess is bear. So there you have it. I will try and resurrect that antenna because it is one that I use a fair amount for shortwave listening and so on. So please be sure to check out dcasler.com/support for different ways you can help fund this channel. Please subscribe. The number of subscriptions that a YouTube channel has and the activity, such as comments, like, dislike, and so on, tells YouTube that these are videos that they should recommend more. And so that will help other people be able to see these ham radio videos. So until we next meet, watch out for bears and 73.